Well, I've been looking at YouTubes and older performers, whether they be singers, actors, comedians. Is it is it true that as you get older, people no longer seek you out to watch? Well, let me show you something. I showed, they say, the people that looked me up, I don't know what library system they looked me up. I sold 200,000 books of poetry when I was younger. This book, let me put it this way, by Robert M. Drake. I just looked him up. He's an Instagram posts his poems on that. I bought this and I'd match mine against his anytime. Much more against his than any time. But he's got 1 million followers on Instagram and probably sells that many books, I don't know. The reason I'm sharing this is he's young. I saw a few things on YouTube just now that were good. Well, I was in Nashville, Indiana, and in a bookstore and picked up a book called Daggone, I'll think of it in a minute, won't I? It was by a lady who was working on a law degree, and it's called Milk and Honey. Milk and Honey. I had no idea when I picked it up that she had sold 1 million copies of it. So it was self-published, but I'm sure before it got that many copies, it was picked up by a major publisher. Now, if I was her, I wouldn't have finished my law degree. But this was one of the projects that she did, and it was to make pictures and words on pages, and she decided to publish it. So it went over well. Not only did it reach 1 million, it reached more than that. And then the second book, and a third book has come out. Okay, she's beautiful. No doubt about it. She's beautiful. And that doesn't hurt. And the last correspondence I got from her said she was going on an international tour. I don't know how that went, because I'm not really on social media that much, and I'm not always on. I've got so many backed up, I want to say, email addresses that I can't tell you how many thousands are backed up that I haven't read. So I mention this to let you know that the youngsters have an advantage over us older people, but I don't think I'm going to believe that, because I compare my stuff that I write to what they write, and I can understand what people read, what they write. But I'll say this about what I write, which you can probably find it on WordPress.com, JimWortham.com, JimWortham.wordpress.com, but I can't even tell you that I'm on there now because they want some money to keep me on. So I had about 200 on there, poems. They weren't good. I just wrote them because I wanted to write a poem every day or two just to keep active. But some of them were good. Many of them beat the heck out of the ones that are selling in bookstores. Now, you're thinking, I'm jealous. No, I just need to get in the groove. I need to get into the groove of what people's looking for in this time. See, things, as you know, with music, this is a perfect example. Music, you remember the junk bands, the garage bands? You remember all those? Do you ever hear about them anymore? The only one you hear about from that age is are the ones that no, can't think of the name of them, but they're the ones that are okay. Snoop Doggy Dogg, you know him. Snoop Dogg. Dr. Dre. What was their music called? You'll know if you follow those names. I may think of it before I get off here. And they're sort of fading away too. But they were so popular at one time. Like garage bands were popular. Okay, so that's what's happening to poetry. But the thing about my poetry and the other people's poetry of today is mine was about relationships, personal relationships. Okay? Now, I mention that because the ones now that I read, and I buy them, are about how hurt I am in a relationship. And mine was about love in a relationship. Theirs is about hurt in a relationship. Well, the thing about this is that I'm on Amazon.com. I sell maybe one book a year. All you gotta do is look under Jim Wortham, just like here. And what you're going to find out is there's so many books being published that they don't even put the title of the books. I would tell you the title of my books, but you couldn't find me. I tell you my name, you put it in there and you'll find me. All the way back maybe to 1969 when I put out my first book called When Twilight Begins. Now, I say that I think it's completely sold out and off there. And I think the second book called I Believe in Love has been knocked off. But the top seller I had then was called Touching You, Touching Me. And it sold all over the English-speaking world. And I honestly thought Touching You, Touching Me was also a title by Neil Diamond, one of his albums. But the reason I say this is because even though it's there's no way to find it unless you look under my name. And then you scroll down and you're going to find the books I wrote. I can't tell you I wrote a book called, what's one of the books I wrote? The Seasons of, let's see. Do I have a copy of any of the books I wrote? The Autumn of Love, or The Summer of Love. You're not going to be able to find them. By that title, you have to look under my name. And that's not fair, is it? When you put all this effort into it, and the only way in the world you will know that I wrote another book is to look under my name, because if it's reviewed, if the book is reviewed in magazines and you put in the title, it'll say nothing. Okay, so I'm just sharing a little bit about the way that the movie industry, the music industry, the poetry industry, the book industry is. I read a book last night, and it was a spiritual book, okay, by Richard Foster, guy that I bought all the books in the past from. And he's in his early 80s, and in the very end he says, "Thank you for all these people." And he said, if it wasn't for all these people, this book, basically, he was saying this book would not sell one book. He said, I had to have help. I had to know someone that knew social media so well they could put it on social media, the book. Then I had to have a promoter that let people know that the book was on social media so they can see if they wanted it or not. And he went on and on and on. He was surprised his book even sold. I bought it. but only because I looked up his name to see if he had any more books on Amazon. Not because I knew he had one. No. I looked on there to see if he had put out any other books, because I had them all. And I was surprised because it's been about 4 or 5 years since he put out a book. And he said, this may be the last book I put out. I'm in my 80s. So that's how difficult it is to make it in the world that the media controls. It's frustrating for me because I wanted to keep writing. I may put out another book. Like to know a subject matter. If you want to give me one, give me a subject matter, a title. Give me some titles of books that you'd read. And I may grab one up and say, that's it. That's going to be a top seller if I find someone that can know media well and put it on the media, do promotion, and all this other stuff. Now, let me just share this. I spent $500 for a course on how to promote my books. This was a few years ago, two years ago. And for my lifetime, I was supposed to be able to review the videos of how to sell books and how to promote books and all that. He's either dead or he decided to close down the site. I mention that because I'm fighting this. If I paid $500 to learn new materials and new ways of promoting books, which that was his deal, was this is the way you promote your book. And he had sold millions, he said, and it seemed to confirm that when I looked it up. Okay, so what am I saying? Not much other than just gabbing, saying young people have an advantage over older people, no matter what media it is. Number two, that there's still a way to make it. There's still a way to make it on the arts. I'm calling the whole caboodle the arts. And I haven't given up yet. I've wanted to, I have, but here I am again. I was a writer, and that's why I'm on here today. I wrote over 15 books of poetry, love poetry. Had fan letters coming in every day. And now no fan. Oh, I do have fan letters coming in now. Where's the letters? Well, I'll show them to you another day. But the thought is that I had a whole bunch of them here. They're not here now. not on this side. Anyhow, I still hear from people. In ending, I got to tell you a story. I was on Amazon looking looking at some messages they had written. People had written there, trying to locate people that were writers, and they said, this guy says, does anyone know Jim Wortham? He was once a poet. He was a good poet. He was in Bowling Green, Kentucky when he wrote his first book in college. I don't know if he's alive or dead. Well, I had enough information there to write to him, and we became friends. I just wanted to end that way. No special reason. You take care. I hope you've enjoyed part of this, if not all, and we'll see each other again soon. Subscribe if you want to. Take care.